Welcome back to Press Review. Let's start by taking a look at today's front pages in the Middle East. Starting from the UAE, the Khalij Times reports that top US and European leaders on Monday called for a ceasefire in Libya and for the United Nations to take on a major role in helping to stop the spiraling violence and lawlessness. The appeal came after a conference call between US President Barack Obama and German Chancellor Angela Merkel and French President François Hollande and the Prime Minister of Britain and Italy, David Cameron and Matteo Renzi, a German government statement said. From Riyadh, the Arab Times reports that Saudi Arabian civil defense forces doused a huge fire that broke out in a paper factory in South Jeddah on Monday. Several firefighting and rescue teams combated the blaze with the help of helicopters which guided ground teams. The paper also reports that 8 people were killed and 17 injured in 2 separate road accidents in the Medina region on the first day of Eid on Monday, civil defense spokesperson said in a statement on Monday. Tragedy becomes Gaza, a bold headline in the Ahram Online, where columnist Dina Azzat argues the stepped-up diplomacy that this week brought the UN Secretary-General, the US Secretary of State and the gaggle of European foreign ministers to the Middle East has so far failed to secure an end to the Gaza war. She says it has brought pressure on all concerned to inch closer towards a deal that could end the Israeli assault on Gaza that is in its 3rd week and has resulted in the death of over 600 Palestinians, many of them women, children and the elderly, and halt the firing of rockets at Israeli targets. From Beirut, the Daily Star reports Israeli aircraft fired a missile at the house of Hamas Gaza leader Ismail Haniyeh before dawn on Tuesday, causing damage but no casualties, Gaza's Interior Ministry said. An Israeli military spokeswoman had no information on the report but was checking for details. Meanwhile, 11 people were killed in a strike on a house in the Bureij refugee camp in Gaza City as Israeli forces hit targets across the territory in the most widespread night of attacks so far in the coastal enclave. And now let's have a look at top Middle East news from papers here in the UK. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei calls on the Islamic world to arm Palestinians fighting Zionist regime amid heavy Israeli bombardment, which has knocked out Gaza's only power plant. The paper also states the foreign minister of Qatar Khalid Al-Attiyeh has told CNN that Israel doesn't want peace and denied that his country is funding terrorist activities in Gaza. The Independent reports on appalling bloodshed with 24 dead and the ominous prospect of a widening conflict where 10 Palestinian children were killed in a missile strike in Gaza City, while across the border 9 Israelis were killed in separate incidents. The children were hit while playing in their beach refugee camp, adding to the already extraordinarily high number of young victims in this war. The massacre came on Eid, the day of celebration after the end of the holy month of Ramadan. The Guardian features an article on Nepalese men employed in Qatar's construction industry, and they told Robert Booth how they work for little or no pay as they build the infrastructure ahead of the 2022 Football World Cup. The Guardian adds appalling living conditions and unsafe employment are not the only difficulties they face. There is pressure and disbelief from their families in Nepal when no money is sent back home. And now let's take a look at top Middle East news in international papers. From Germany, the Deutsche Welle titles an article, "Political will for a ceasefire is still lacking." It says despite the international community's appeal for a long-term ceasefire in Gaza, Israel and Hamas continue to fight. The radical forces on both sides are showing little interest in ending the war. And from the United States, the New York Times says Israel destroys home of a top political leader for Hamas. Israeli airstrikes flattened the 4-story Gaza home of Hamas's top political leader Ismail Haniyeh and destroyed offices of the movement's radio and television station early on Tuesday, suggesting a slight operational shift as the battle entered its 22nd day. That was it. For more updates, please visit our website on levant.tv. Thanks for watching Press Review and bye for now.